2022 was dramatic from several aspects. As we have reached to the end of another tumultuous year, it's pretty common to feel overwhelmed. While the first half of the year was marked with Russia's invasion of the Ukraine, the latter half was earmarked with the world population turning 8 billion. To insane interest rate hikes, scorching heat in Europe, and devastating floods in Pakistan, to the death of Britain's longest-serving monarch, Queen Elizabeth II.
This is BBC News from London. Buckingham Palace has announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
But 2022 was not bad entirely. From some astonishing achievements to certain glorious events, 2022 still delivered hope, happiness, and optimism. And that's why in today's video, I'm going to talk about 5 things, just 5 positive things that made 2022 an exuberant year, changing our lives for the better. So without wasting any time, let's get started. At number 5 is the space exploration. We all grew up hearing about Neil Armstrong, the first person to land on the moon, but that was 54 years ago. In 2022, NASA announced its plan to re-establish human presence on the moon for the first time since the Apollo 17 mission that ended in 1972. The current moon mission is called the Artemis program. As per the Greek theory, Artemis is the twin sister of Apollo, and that's how this mission got its name. While the Apollo mission lasted for 4 years with 12 people marking their presence on the moon, the Artemis would be the first ever to include a woman and a person of color. The Artemis 1 was successfully tested by NASA in 2022. It was an uncrewed mission that orbited to the moon and later landed in the Pacific Ocean. Its main purpose was to test the spacecraft, the heat shield, and the overall infrastructure. Which means we are all set for Artemis 2 in 2024. That would be a crew mission orbiting around the moon. And finally, it would be 2025 when the Artemis 3 would take humans to the moon and back. The next big space thing in 2022 was the high-resolution images of 4.6 billion years old galaxy cluster taken by JWST. The telescope is capable of exploring cosmic history from the solar system to the most distant galaxies. The tiny and unclear object dates back to more than 13.5 billion years ago. And since we know that the Big Bang happened almost 14 billion years ago, we are excitingly reaching to the beginning of how the universe began. This stunning collection of images and data from JWST shows us an exoplanet, that is a planet beyond our solar system. Distant galaxies, the formation and death of stars, and insight into early universe. The first exoplanet of the Earth size was confirmed by NASA in Jan 2023. Every image is a new discovery, and each will give humanity a view of the universe they have never seen before. Now let's go back from space to our video to reveal the next best thing of 2022 that happened in the field of healthcare. The first thing in healthcare is the discovery of an injectable drug to prevent HIV. After years of research, scientists have discovered an injectable PrEP called Cabla or cabotegravir that reduces the chances of getting infected with HIV, got WHO's approval in 2022. PrEP stands for pre-exposure prophylaxis. It's an injectable drug like a COVID vaccine that must be taken twice a year. Now this discovery isn't first of its kind. Oral vaccines are also available. But oral vaccine has an issue. It needs to be consumed daily, or at least twice before and after the exposure. And such habit is hard to maintain, and that's why the oral PrEP did not get much of its success. Globally, 38 million people are living with HIV. That's the entire population of Canada. The injection is more efficient and robust compared to the oral PrEP, and finally has given a ray of hope of achieving a HIV-free world within a decade or so. Similar achievement was discovered in treating Alzheimer or dementia. Leqembi, another drug, helps in slowing the rate at which the virus destroys a memory cell. It's hard to live with someone who does not even recognize you. does not know when and why to take the medication. Dementia is an emotionally exhaustive process that affects not just the patient but the entire family. As of now, more than 55 million people are living with dementia worldwide, and this number is all projected to shoot 3 times to 150 million by 2050. So you know how significant these discoveries are to mankind. Though these discoveries are mind-boggling, but the cost and accessibility is still a blocker, and that's why healthcare stands at number 4 on our list. Moving on to the next is a crucial topic of gender equality. For decades, Iranian women and minorities have been fighting for the rights against the government's strict Islamist regime. Some of it includes equality in marriage and divorce, a law for domestic assault and sexual harassment at work, and fight against hijab, a compulsory dress code. Put simply, this fight is for the freedom. In September 22, Mahsa Amini's death changed everything forever. There were countrywide strikes soon after that paralyzed the entire nation, with participants including not just the women, but men, the youth, and even the teenagers. The protest got international coverage, and soon after support poured in not just internationally, but also various governments imposing sanctions on the country. The slogan, Women Life Freedom, became the global symbol of the protest. While it's gonna be a long fight, come what may, 2022 has brought a historic blow to the ideological foundations, and the situation will never be the same again. While some nations are fighting for equality, in other parts of the world, agencies are proactively accelerating to bridge the gap. World's richest cricket body, India's BCCI, announced equal pay for cricketers in late October. New Zealand was the first to do so in July, followed by Cricket Australia. And when it comes to equality, how could FIFA stay behind? In the recently concluded Qatar World Cup, 6 women refereed the game for the first time since FIFA's foundation a century ago. France's Stephanie Frappart now holds the title of the first woman to referee in the men's-dominated World Cup. Gender equality is a fundamental human right that also includes LGBTQ. While things are moving ahead, there's still a long way to go, and that's why gender equality holds a crucial third spot on our list. The next on the list is a very hot topic from the field of artificial intelligence. The 21st century belongs to technology. It has changed the fundamental way we live, work, and communicate at an accelerated pace. And the tech world is all geared up for another major disruption. The buzzword is ChatGPT. ChatGPT is an AI that would allow you to have human-like conversations with the machines.
How involved was Elon Musk in your development?
Elon Musk is one of the investors in OpenAI, the company that developed me.
From planning a meal to planning a holiday, this AI would answer all your queries. This human to AI conversation is going to be more like human to human. So if you ever have a heartbreak, now you will always have a listening ear. This AI is capable to do your homework, write essays, help in research, or even assist in writing and debugging complex software codes just in a matter of few seconds. In fact, speculation has now arrived that it could even replace Google search in the near future. Launched in November 22 by OpenAI, this software got record millions of downloads just within few days, with tech experts applauding its achievement. GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, and it relies on large language model that read billions of pages using deep neural network just to predict the next word. Now circling back to the billion-dollar question, would it ever replace Google search? Well, Google is working on its own AI called Lambda. But then there is a big issue with the business model. If Lambda gives you all the answers, then who will click on the ads? And how would Google make money? But we will tackle this question some other day, some other time. For now, suffice it to say that this fresh revolution is here to stay and will be the buzzword for the entire 2023. While this AI is promising, it has some accuracy issues and also has its own limitations in the present form. That will take some time to revamp, and hence, despite being a game changer or futuristic, it still takes the number 2 spot in the 2022 list. And now it's time to reveal the most iconic thing, something that the world would remember 2022 for. At the number 1 spot, the best thing of 2022, is the FIFA World Cup. We are living in an uncertain times, filled with conflicts and global crisis. The world is a fractured place, less united and more divided. Football is an emotion, having the power to connect above caste and religion. The 2022 World Cup got an astounding 5.5 billion views in the month-long tournament, making it the most viewed sporting event on this planet. And the finals between France and Argentina got a record 300 million plus views. Argentina won the cup and Messi won our hearts. A player to be remembered by generation, Messi has been an absolute inspiration. Not just with his technical capabilities of dribbling the ball or putting intelligence to work, but by being a kind and humble human, unfazed by failure and an absolute team player. Still it worked to ask, who's the greatest, Messi or Ronaldo? Well, Brazilian Pele was one of the greatest footballers ever, who most of us never saw playing. I think our generation is fortunate enough to watch two superstars together, changing the game for the better, and that's where lies the actual answer. We haven't reached to the end yet. The 5 best things was compiled from the point of view on the impact it would have on the society. And with billions of fan following, FIFA has undisputedly triggered emotions of joy and happiness across continents, and that's why it gained the #1 spot. The 5 best things is a rare content to come across on YouTube, so please do share and subscribe. And before we conclude, let's take a sneak peek on other eventful things that define 2022 for the year that was.